What's up guys, Overman back again, and in today's video, you already know what we're going to talk about. We got to talk about these microtransactions inside of Destiny. Now, a few months ago, I made a video talking about how the Collector's Edition was basically a big microtransaction, and like many others, I said if it sells well enough, you can bet your ass that you're going to be seeing more microtransactions inside of Destiny. And fast forward a few months, here we are, a week away from getting Tess, who's going to introduce the microtransactions directly into the game. However, it's not as bad as I would have thought a few months ago. In this case, Tess is only going to be selling cosmetic items. I think she's only selling emotes and emblems, if I remember correctly. So thankfully, she's not going to sell anything that's going to offer you any power advantages over anyone else, because that would make the game pay to win. And in return for these microtransactions, we're going to be getting some quests and missions for free for everyone, regardless if you buy the microtransactions or not. And personally, I'm okay with this. I honestly think that this is the way microtransactions should be done. If you're going to sell us some pointless cosmetic shit, you got to give us something in return, and they're doing that here. And this isn't a new idea or anything like that. This has been done in a ton of other games. Just to name a few, GTA 5 and Mass Effect 3 both did this in their multiplayer components. They offered microtransactions that would allow you to buy in-game stuff, and then they gave you the DLCs for free. So like I said, I'm okay with this. But I do think it's interesting. A while back, Batman made a video where he said that Destiny released unopposed, so because of this, Activision felt comfortable releasing a game which didn't offer too much content, and then selling DLCs for 20 bucks a pop. And they got away with it because players didn't have anything else to play. People just wanted to play something, so they bought Destiny DLC. But this is definitely not the case in 2015. In 2015, Bungie Vision has a ton of competition. To name a few, you've got Black Ops 3 and Star Wars Battlefront for your PvP fix, and then the big heavy hitter, the game that's probably going to cut into Destiny's playtime the most, is Fallout 4. So they probably concluded that they wouldn't make that much money off of the DLC sales, and they probably couldn't get the playtimes that they wanted while selling DLCs. So now they're going to offer us some free content, and they're going to make their money with microtransactions, which is good because now you get free content without having to pay any extra money. And while I'm okay with this, I'm going to actually advise you not to buy into these microtransactions because a ton of other people are going to do it, and Bungie's going to get their money from them. And I say this because of how well the Collector's Edition sold. I see tons of people with these Collector's Edition emotes and shit like that. So I'm sure that even more people are going to buy into these emotes because it's going to be even cheaper. It's probably going to be like $2 or $3 a pop instead of just buying a few of them for $20. So you can get all of this free content without having to pay anything extra. But if you do buy into the microtransactions, it's kind of like you're paying for DLC, but you get a big discount because, you know, if you buy 2 of them, let's say that's anywhere from $4 to $6, that's a lot cheaper than $20 for a DLC. But I'd advise you to just save the $4 to $6 and go buy yourself a pack of gum and go kiss a pretty girl or guy or whatever you're into. As long as it's not a child or an animal, it's fair game. And if you want to have even more fun, go buy a pack of rubbers. I bet you're gonna get a lot more fun out of that than these emotes. Or just straight up save your money and don't buy anything at all. Instead of paying $3 for the Cha-Cha emote in Destiny, do the Cha-Cha while you play Destiny. Save money and burn calories at the same damn time. But anyways, back to the point. Let's get into the Bad and Beyond section now, because while I said I don't see anything wrong with this model right now, this has the potential to become very bad in the future. And I say this because this is just the early stages. You know, COD started out the same way. They were just offering camos and Snoop Dogg voices and shit like that. But eventually they got into selling supply drops, which offered in-game advantages, which was not cool. And that's how that game became pay to win. And of course, the common factor between these two games is Activision. Activision stands behind both of these. And do you really put it past Activision from selling you guys a pack that would include some motes, some coins, and a guaranteed engram that could be either a blue or a small chance to get a legendary? And maybe they'll sell you a more expensive pack that will guarantee a legendary and have a small chance for an exotic. If you play Advanced Warfare, I bet you that sounds familiar. Now, it is possible that Activision has learned their lesson and they'll shy away from it, but it's possible that they don't, and I do think we should discuss this possibility. And I do think we should make these concerns apparent to Bungie and let them know we don't want that shit, to keep that out of Destiny, and tell them that we don't want a pay-to-win game. But of course, there's always a chance that they don't even listen because the COD community said that they didn't like advanced supply drops. However, Activision didn't really listen because they still sold advanced supply drops anyways. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is kind of sketchy and it is pure speculation. But given Activision's track record, I really wouldn't put it past them. What's to say these missions and quests weren't just a few things cut out of the Taken King DLC to be given to us as, quote, free later on? And this would be kind of shady because then they'd be fooling the player base players into thinking that they're getting something for free, which they already basically paid for, so it's not really free, and then they have a reason to sell us microtransactions on the side. It'd be like buying a PC in which the retailer took a couple sticks of RAM out of there and said, hey, if you buy our $2 mouse pad, we'll throw in these 2 sticks of RAM for free. You think you're getting something for free, but you're basically just getting what you paid for an extra $2 or $3. And that'd be shady as fuck. However, we'll never know if this is the case or not, because I don't think they're gonna be stupid enough to put this shit into the game before it's available. Kinda like what they did with the DLC in year 1. But anyways, I'll take my tinfoil hat off now, and we can talk about something a little bit more reasonable, which is the quality and quantity of this new content. We don't know how many new missions we're gonna get, we don't know how many quests we're gonna be getting, and we don't know if they're gonna be good or not. A lot of the missions and quests in this game are hit or miss. Some of the quests are actually kinda cool, but some of them are just boring and monotonous, and then they have shitty rewards. Now, they could turn out to be awesome, that's a possibility, and these missions could be something new and a little bit more fun than just run through an area and kill enemies and fight your way up to a boss and then kill the boss. Hopefully it's a little bit more fun than that, but we don't know. And I'm bringing this up because, of course, there's a ton of people who are already creaming their pants saying, oh my gosh, Bungie's so amazing for giving us free content. I can't wait to go and buy all the emotes. Just calm down, guys. We don't even know what we're getting, and we don't know how often we're going to be getting it too. But my guess is if they really want to compete for playtime, they're going to have to release something substantial, and they're going to have to do it decently often if they want to compete with things like Star Wars Battlefront and Fallout 4. And right now I know I sound like an entitled piece of shit because I'm complaining about a bunch of free content, but I'm not complaining about the content itself. I'm just telling you guys, don't cream your pants over it just yet. We don't know. This could turn out to be like the Queen's Wrath, remember that? A lot of people were getting hyped and thinking, oh, we're gonna get a bunch of new free content to do and a bunch of free quests and whatnot, and it was just the same bounties that you've already done. Now I think Bungie has learned from that, and they're not gonna make the same mistake again, but that doesn't mean it's gonna be good either. So hopefully this isn't the beginning of the end. Hopefully this isn't the start of a terrible trend in Destiny. Hopefully they're not gonna make this game pay to win with the Destiny equivalent of advanced supply drops. And honestly, I really don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not too invested in Destiny anymore, and I'm actually gonna be starting to play Fallout New Vegas because I want to see what the hype is all about for this Fallout series, because I've never played one of these games and I've heard so much about them, and I want to see what it's got to offer. Maybe if I like it, I'll do some Fallout 4 videos. Well, that's pretty much all I got for this one. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not feeling too shy, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think about the microtransactions coming in Destiny. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter for some Twitter shenanigans. That's it for me though, guys. Over me. Out.